few weeks ago I built a little status light. It was a small 3D printed case with an LED kind of ring inside, and it reflected the build status of kind of a code testing system. And it was powered by USB, so it kind of sat on a desk. It obviously wasn't really portable, it was meant to stay there. Despite obviously being Wi-Fi powered, it was just power which was really kind of holding it up. And so I was thinking about possibly adding a battery to this. And so I'm just going to do a few kind of quick kind of tests today, really rig it up, a test setup, and take a look at the current draw and see how feasible this is going to be. The other thing I'd like to do is the original version used a Trinket Arduino kind of USB device which interfaced with the LED light ring. This is because the Electric Imp at the time didn't have the ability to kind of communicate that fast and to output the type of data required to talk directly to the NeoPixel ring that I was using. Fairly recently, probably less than a week ago, they updated all the software and it now supports that. So I'm going to also hopefully use this as an opportunity to refine the design and to eliminate components. Okay, I have here the circuit set up for testing. I've got a little kind of LiPo charger and regulator circuit. Connect a battery into here and it will then feed out 5 volts regulated on this terminal here. It also supports charging kind of at the same time. That feeds 5 volts power through to the battery terminals of the Electric Imp breakout. The onboard regulator converts that down to 3.3 volts. At the same time, 5 volts is fed up to the NeoPixel ring, and the data line for the ring, it goes back down to the Electric Imp. And this setup here will allow me to kind of test version 2 of the status lights. I've also temporarily tacked on the power terminal here, so once it's up and running I can disconnect that and connect a kind of current meter in line to see how much power it's drawing and whether battery power would be feasible for this system. Right, I've got the Electric Imp wired up now with the NeoPixel ring. It's running through a very kind of basic loop where it just ramps up using the library, and I've got a kind of ammeter in between measuring the current. As you might be able to see, it's, as it cycles through, it's peaking at around about 800 milliamps before it cuts out, or before it loops back to the start. So it's drawing a lot of power, as I was expecting. I need to do a few calculations now to see how feasible this will be to run from a rechargeable pack and how long a battery life I'd get from a kind of a moderate sized battery. The other thing I kind of came across at this stage was the library that I'm using doesn't seem to be quite right. There's this one pixel here which it never sets properly. You can see at the very start it starts off at a different colour, sometimes doesn't work. And I think that might be something to do with the timing that's going on. It's possible that the driving this ring from a 3.3 volt logic isn't so good. It might be causing a few problems. So I probably would need to at least investigate level shifting that up and see if that helps. The pack that I've got it running from now is 850 milliamp hour. So obviously at the higher kind of current we saw, it's going to pull. It'll last for an hour, roughly, running at kind of full brightness, all 3 colours on, which is not bad actually for something that small and that amount of power coming out. It's pretty good. And in reality, for the status light, it only really displays one colour at any one time, and that's kind of pulsing through a colour sequence, so it's not going to be drawing full power. It's probably going to be at least half the kind of current draw I was seeing, kind of 400, possibly 500 milliamp hours at any one time. And And yeah, so I think it's feasible with a slightly larger battery pack, up to 2000 kind of milliamp hour pack. I'd probably get 4 hours or so from something like this, which is really good. And I think it's certainly worth kind of carrying on and building kind of version 2 of the status light, which runs with a battery power pack. The other kind of benefit for sticking with this is the original design made use of the trinkets USB port, which is on the base. That was how this whole system was powered. The Electric Imp breakout board has the SD card on the back and the USB port on the side, which means it's pretty hard to build this into a kind of a case, because you can't have things coming out the side and then the back. Ideally everything needs to be lined up, and so I did need another USB port anyway on here, and so being able to make use of the USB port on this I think should be ideal. I mean, I could have these two stacked up again in the same way as the trinket was stacked last time, but then right underneath a big kind of battery running the entire thing. And yes, I think it's now a case of turning over to the computer to kind of take a look at designing a new case for it. I'm not quite sure when I will be able to finish this, but yeah, I think it's a nice kind of project and revision to carry on with.